Hi there, Jean Greer here at Stylish Fireplaces, introducing you to the Dimplex Mapleton freestanding fireplace. Some would call this a stove. You could certainly refer to it that way. It is using Optimyst technology to create the flame effects, which means tap water is being turned into mist, and then light is hitting that mist to make it look like live flame. It is cast iron, so this is extremely solid and well built. We love the feel of this. It is extremely impressive when you see it in person. We access that Optimyst unit by opening the door here. So the front glass is a door. We open that up. We take the log set off, and underneath there is a water reservoir with a refillable water bottle, which we take to the tap and fill it up and then put it back in. You're going to need to do that every 8 to 12 hours or so, depending on how you have your mist set to flow, how much water you're using, and how often you're using the fireplace, obviously. This is not plumbed in. It cannot be plumbed in. It must be refilled manually. So you will need to access that water bottle occasionally, depending on how often you're emptying the reservoir. You saw that glass door open, and then that can close. We have glass at the sides as well, so you have glass on 3 sides, which really allows you to take advantage of the 3D live flame effect that you get from Optimyst. You can see how tall it is here. It's a very upright, kind of contemporary looking, but I think it suits a lot of different interiors, and it just gives you such an impressive fire. There's a little bit of a cavity down here where you could put real logs, wood, that sort of thing. You're not meant to fill it up. There is a way for air to get in under that Optimyst burner, and you're not to fill it completely up, but you could certainly put some logs there for display. On the top, we have a ring here that can accept an optional flue collar, they call it. If I wanted to install this in my room and put a stovepipe to fulfill the illusion of a wood stove or a gas stove, Dimplex sells a collar that I can attach here to hold the stovepipe in place. You do not need any kind of pipe or venting for this fireplace. It's just the look. If you want to complete that look with a stovepipe, there is an area here that can take an optional accessory called a flue collar, and I can put that on here. The stove, being Optimyst, does come with the new Optimyst remote that has been appearing on some of the other Optimyst inserts and products recently. It's not an extremely intuitive remote. It's a bit like a TV remote. It has some functions on it that you can't access any other way. So if I want to set this up on a timer so it comes on and off at a certain time each day of the week, I could do that with the remote, and I could program that in. You can probably hear the crackling sound effects here. Those are set on the remote, and then the volume control is on the remote, or I can leave that crackling sound off. Otherwise, I don't necessarily need the remote. If I'm not, once I've got this set up, really all I need to do is open this door, and then the 2 buttons I need the most are here. There's a power button and a heat button. Everything else I really don't need day to day necessarily on the remote. And the heater is very simple, low heat, high heat. I don't have to have the heater on at all. This is electric. You don't ever have to have the heater on if you don't want the heat. The heat settings are low, which is about half heat, so maybe 750 watts, and high, which will give you full heating. Otherwise, you don't have a thermostat control per se, so you can't set an exact temperature, but you can have heat if you want it. Other stoves that I would compare this to, there are not a lot of freestanding electric fireplaces or stoves. Monty makes several. They make a more traditional looking cast iron stove called the Linwood, and you could get that. None of these other options have Optimyst, by the way. So the Monty would have LED flames. Monty also makes a freestanding, little more retro looking with a bay window stove, and they make the Cube, which could have an optional 4-legged base that would give it the look of a modern stove with the glass on 3 sides. Those are all regular LED flames and not the mist technology. They're really the only other stoves we could compare this to. As I said, this just has such a quality feel. This is not something I would ever compare to the little electric stoves that you see in the box stores in the winter. It's nothing like that. It is such a quality piece. You can find the Mapleton at stylishfireplaces.ca. Search by brand and look for Dimplex and you'll find the Mapleton there, or search by style and we have a category specifically for stoves.